Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Crafty Chemist Designs. How is everybody doing on this Sunday evening? I'm really glad you are here. Let me share this to the group. It will take maybe a minute. Okay, there we go. And then let me post this to Instagram. Okay, there we go. Let me move this over a little bit so it's not so crooked. So if you hop on, say hello so that I know that you are here. And if you're watching the replay, say hashtag replay so that I know that you watched. So today I had a very eventful day. This morning I mowed the lawn. It needed mowed. It was getting very long. And then we went up to the outlet mall in Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin. It was fun. I did buy a few things. I bought some things at the Gap in their clearance section. I bought 4 shirts, well, 2 shirts and 2 sweaters for $21, you guys. So crazy. But it is final clearance, so I hope that they fit. But even if 2 of them fit, I think it was still worth it. And then this is where the craziness started. My car didn't start, so we were stuck in the parking lot of the outlet mall with a car that didn't work. I guess it's not a bad place to get stuck. There was the mall there was food, whatever. So I did call AAA and it was the battery apparently. So I got my battery replaced and then was able to head home. And then I did a little more yard work and I got all the lawn bags ready because tomorrow's our trash day. So I got all the lawn bags out and then got all the stickers on them. Do you guys have to put stickers on your lawn bag and all that? So I got that all ready. And then we went to dinner at Texas Roadhouse. They opened a new Texas Roadhouse in our neighborhood, and I haven't been there. So we went there. It was kind of nice to, after the stress of my car not working. So that was my day. What did you guys do? The weather here it was nice, but cool. It's still pretty cool. Okay, while I am waiting for some people, I wanted to remind you that this coming Saturday is my National Scrapbooking Month virtual crop party. So check out my Facebook page at Crafty Chemist Designs and you can read about it. It's from 1 to 9 on Saturday, and that's Central Time. It's basically an open crop party where I will have a few games and some prizes. So I hope you can join us. Hi, Mom. I hope you can join us there. There's still time to sign up. You probably won't get your make and take supplies. Obviously, there's not enough time to get you the make and take supplies. There is a make and take, and there will be a sketch challenge. So those are part of the games and the prizes. I will be posting the sketch layout earlier this week so that you can kind of maybe think about the paper you want to use or the pictures and that sort of thing. Hi, Diana. So yeah, I'll post the sketch challenge for the virtual crop party in maybe Monday or Tuesday. Okay. So today we are going to make this scrapbook layout, and I'm going to be using the Scenic Adventures, the Scenic Adventure set, which is really beautiful. This is a stamp set, and then there are these dies to use. Hi Don, I did do a card last week using this set. So this will give you an idea about, the cards and about the die cuts. Um, so cute. Here's another one. Same one. This is the one I think I made. No, this is the one I made live. And then this is my sample. And then here's another one that's just a regular card, but it has these trees on it um, as well. And then I also put the little mountaintop. I might do that on one of these today to show you. Okay. Well, this one looks like I got. There we go. Oh, I thought I had ripped part of that because I'm going to send this to my daughter. Okay. And then there isn't a paper suite that goes with this, although there is a paper collection in the new catalog. That's an outdoorsy one. I don't have the catalog right here, but it's an outdoorsy one. It has kind of some buffalo plaid, I know, is one of the papers. But I have this paper. This paper is it's called Take to the Sky, and it was in last year's catalog, but it's still available. It was, at least it was when I Heidi, when I did the sample last week. Let me show you this. Um, so there's this pack, and I love that some of the Stampin' Up! Papers comes with a sheet that has, you can use these as, this could be a nice journaling box or even a background for your pictures or whatever. These tags, you can see I used one of this tag here, down here. And then the back side is this kind of a map. It's all about kind of about airplanes and that, but it's also travel. So I thought this was a good paper to use, and since I had it, and I did not really get to feature this last year. I bought it at the beginning of the year, and then I never did a live with it, I don't think. And so I thought this is a good time to use this. Oh, this would have been really good with the mountains, because if you know, these are they show you, like, this obviously is a mountain here because the grid lines go up to the top. Um, so this would have been nice. Here's another airplane. If you go to the National Air and Space Museum, this would be perfect. There's this, and I did use a little bit of this on my layout. Another one here. And I like with Stampin' Up! Paper, you get more in it. With Close to My Heart paper, there were 3 sheets that were double-sided, right? So you got 6 designs. There are more designs with Stampin' Up! And then there's this one, which I did use here. And then this, obviously this is what I used. And there's also this paper with a cloud. I've used this a lot as background for different cards if I needed a cloud background. So I do like this. Although this stamp set is nice to have in your collection because it does have this the cloud stamp. And then there's also this water. I didn't use it on this one, but I did use it on um, the card. See on the card, I made this pattern. This is just solid cardstock, and I made this pattern with that stamp set. So this is nice to have in your, in your craft room because of those, really. So, and then it has the gray on the back. Okay. So this is what we are going to make today. I did throw on some of the stamped trees. There's some stamped trees, but there's also these trees that are the die cuts, and then these ones too. And I'll show you those. These are dies. These are dies also. Okay, but if you don't have this paper and you don't have, this collection, this is a great layout. It's a generic, basically layout that you can use any papers that you want to make this layout. Now, obviously, you're not going to have the mountain and that up here, but you could put your title up there. You could put, any kind. You could put flowers coming up out of there, whatever you want. So grab your paper and some embellishments and craft along with me. Hi, Julie. Yeah, I love this paper, and I had plans. You know what I was going to do is, do you remember a long time ago? I did a 4th of July card that had a swing arm that I had the firecracker kind of swinging up. And I thought that would be kind of fun to do like one of these planes, because there was a stamp set and the dies where you could have the plane. I thought that would be kind of fun to like it was flying or something. That's what I was going to do with it. And that's why I bought the paper. So, okay, but you can craft along. Hi, Jeannie. You can craft along and use whatever paper that you want. So let's get started. I'm going to start just cutting the paper. So this paper here is, I believe, 6 inches. Let me measure it because I wanted to be able to do, use one sheet for both layouts. Yeah, so 6 inches for this green one. So whatever you want for your background. And I would pick something that has a pattern, but not too busy because you're going to put your pictures on it. Okay, and I used the top. This is North America here. So I have, okay, here's the corresponding piece. I don't know if you can tell, but you can kind of see here. This is, I'll move it up a little bit because it might be off the screen. You can see this was a map of the world. And here's Africa, South America, and then North America. So I just used the top half over here, and then I'm going to use the bottom half on my other page. Okay, so you need a piece that's 6 inches. And of course, you're going to need your base page, and I'm using white. Okay, and I'm not going to put any of this down quite yet because these do stick under that a little bit. So this is going to be here. Now this is a 1/2 inch by 12. So if you have any zip strips, in your stash from Close to My Heart, or cut a piece that's 1/2 inch by 12. And I used these. And I'm going to try and match up. I want it to be, since this is like a plaid, I really want it to be the same. So I'm going to cut it right along that top line. Okay, so I'm not going to cut it at 1/2 inch right away. I'm going to cut it bigger and then try and match up the pattern. Okay, and then 1/2 inch here. And I think this will make the pattern similar. Looks pretty similar, close enough for me. I'm happy with it. Okay. And then this blue piece is 2.5 inches. Okay, so that's actually the back side of this one. And I really tried to use, have colors that went nicely together, um, and that stood out. Like I really wanted this centerpiece to sort of stand out. So try and get ones that coordinate but aren't exactly, the same color scheme or whatever. So I'm gonna do what I say, 2.5 here. Okay, so that's gonna go down here. And then on this one, I made three 3x4 pictures. I think on this one, I decided to do a 4x4 and a 4x6 just to be, just to make it a little bit different. But this one I did do three 3x4s. And so this copper clay base, this is copper clay. It's the matte for these pictures. Exactly, Julie, exactly. I'm trying to match the pattern. And I think I didn't do too bad. I made Michaela a dress once for her sorority. Um, I don't know, it was like the sorority anniversary or something like that. And I really had a hard time. I had to match the pattern along the back of the dress where there was a zipper. And to cut that ahead of time was really hard. But I tried really hard to make that match. This was so much easier. So, anyway, if you're making it like this, you want to cut 3 pieces of your matte color, 4.25, by 3.25. Here, I'm going to do this one 4.25 by 4.25, and this one 6.25 by 4.25. Okay, and like I said, this is copper clay. This was I think the 2023, yeah, 2023, 2025 color pack. Oh, let me see if I have enough of this. Okay, let me think about this. If I have 4.25, yeah, I can do. If I cut this 4.25, I'd be 6.25 and 4.25. That's 10, 11. Okay, I've got enough. I was like, wait a minute, do I have enough to do this? Okay, so I'm going to cut this at 4.25, and then 4.25, and 6.25, which I really wish that this one went to 6.25 without having to open up the arm, but it's the only thing I don't like about this uh, trimmer. You can go up to 6, which is nice, but you can't go to the 6.25, which is marked here because of this lip. It blocks it. Okay, so let's see. Are you ready? Are you ready now to start? Okay, I am going to adhere these down. Okay. Um, if you're going to put something on the top like this, don't put adhesive along this top edge, or do it low enough where you're able to tuck um, some paper behind it. Okay. So I'm going to start with the bottom piece, and this is about at 1 inches. So I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. And the bottom, very bottom, is going to go across the 1 inch. Okay? If you guys are crafting along, tell me what paper suite you're using. And then post your pictures when you're done. I love to see what they look like with other suites. Okay, there's the 1 inch. Okay, now let's do this one. I'm going to use my combo for this because I have more control on these 1/2 inch pieces. I don't know, for some reason I'm not coordinated enough with the ATG to do 1/2 inch. I could if I tried, but okay. I'm going to put the 1/2 inch piece right here on top. And so you should be up to, if we started at the 1, that should have hit about the 4 inches up. And now let's do this piece. And remember, this is a piece where I don't want to do the top. So I'm not going to do this side, or I'm going to do it far down. Okay. Otherwise, I'm going to have to get the undo out. So, okay. So what do I mean by this? I'm going to put it like way down here so that I've got all of this wiggle room to stick my pieces in if I need to. And it'll still be held down. Okay. And that should take you up to about 10 inches from the bottom. So you should have a good 2 inches to work with. And like I said, depending on what paper you were using, you could easily, it would be pretty to stamp. Wouldn't it be pretty to stamp some flowers or something up here? Or if you have die cut flowers, you can put them up there. Or do it like I'm doing here, but. Okay, let's put the mat down. This is a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. If you are doing the 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 mats, I started with the center one. So I started with this center one and I centered it right on the 6 inch, in the middle. And then I put the other ones, beside it to line up. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this is kind of a nice simple layout. I like layouts that you can do, it doesn't really depend on the paper suite, that you can use, anything. Now, granted, the reason I did this is because of the mountains, but I also wanted to feature this take to the sky paper because I didn't. Okay, let me put this here. And then this one. And when I put these photo placeholders down, I just put a little bit in the center so it's easy to take off. And then if it rips the paper a little bit, it's in the center where you're going to be putting a picture over it, so it doesn't really matter. I do have a resource for all of the supplies that I use, so let me drop that link now. It's loading up, and it has all of the products that I use, so it's really easy for you to just click on and find them. If you didn't know, I have a resource page for almost all of the layouts that I've created. And the cards. For all of the projects that I've created, I usually make a resource. Okay, there you go. And so it's easy for you to add and you don't have to figure out and find stuff because I don't think the Stampin' Up! Website is super easy to navigate. So I try to make it as easy as possible. Also, on my page, the craftychemist.stampinup.net, I also have a calendar where you can see all of my events, all my Facebook Lives, things that are coming up. And if I'm having any special event like the National Scrapbooking Month, I put it all in there. So it's a good place to go to find pictures of what I've done and the resources and the calendar. Okay, so now we're good. So now I'm going to um, show you the die cuts and the stamp set. So let me just kind of move this over. And then let's look at the dies. Because I'm going to cut another couple mountains. Oh, this is not the right dies. Okay. This is for the words. This is called Alphabet a la mode. I forgot I had put the dies on in here. So here's the dies. We've got the mountain. And then I'll show you what some of these look like. This one with the bushes, that's this here. It looks like, some bushes. Here's the flowers. So I did the flowers there. This is the treescape here. And then this one, I wanted to really kind of try this, but it looks like, I think if you did it I should have done it on the card. I think it just makes like indentation and then it shows the moon. I don't know, but I haven't tried this one yet. This is the water. And let me see. This paper I did the water on. So I don't know if you can see, but what it does is it just cuts some like lines and makes the like the waves. Let me see if I can angle it so you can see it. I don't know if you can see it very good, but it is there. And then these trees are the two here in the front. I double layered it, right? There's 2 layers there. And then I don't think I used this one. I didn't use this one on any of them. It doesn't look like it quite cuts the stamp out. And then this one is like the mountaintop that you can make it look like snow. So that's what I did here on this one to make it look like, I don't know, there was snow on the top of the mountain. Okay. And then there's these stamp sets. And like I said, you could do the clouds. On this one, I did the clouds. I did the clouds here in the background. Here is the water and some nice sentiments. You're amazing. Can't wait to see you again. Let the journey begin, let the adventure begin. Just breathe and take it slow. Cheers to another, journey or adventure. There's also these flowers and then a stamp. So these are the stamps. This one, and this one. Those are the 3 stamps. So that's why I included them onto here. I originally was going to put them up here, but it didn't look right. You guys tell me what you think. It didn't look right with the cutouts, the die cuts here, and then these being stamped. I don't know, maybe I'm just overthinking it, but okay, so let's start with the mountains. This does fit the mini stamp cut and emboss machine. So that's what I'm going to be using. And here's the paper that I'm going to use. I don't remember which gray this is, but I think it's not Pebbled Path. I think it's basic gray, but let's find out. think it's right here. Yeah, basic gray. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so it's basic gray. And I'm gonna cut this like 3 inches. And I'm going to cut two. Actually, I'm just gonna, how wide is this? This is 5 1/4, so I'm gonna cut three and a two. So this is for the mountains. If you have the two-sided cardstock, it would be nice to, do each side, so that they're a little bit different colors, like I did, like I did here. I've got a dark side and a light side. This one I used a basic gray, and then I think I used smoky slate or something. So there's two different colors. Okay, so now these ones, I want to show you how it cuts out. It doesn't cut the whole thing out. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you don't want to put this on in like just a middle of a sheet of paper. You want to cut it about the size that you're going to want it to be. Okay, and then you want to leave a little bit of space here so that you can kind of tuck it down. Um, so you want a little bit of space below it, and I'll show you why. So let's put this on here and cut it through. I love this little mini stamp cut and emboss machine, and it's not really that expensive. I was surprised. I don't think I put that on um the resource page, but okay. So now do you see what I'm talking about? How it doesn't cut it out. It just makes it cuts this part out. It cuts the top of the mountain out, but it doesn't cut the bottom. Like this is not cut. Okay. So that's why if this was on like a 6-inch sheet, you're going to have the mountain and then just straight square, below that. So I cut it about the size that I want this to be. Okay, and then I'm going to just kind of trim this off. You could cut it exactly the width that you want. I like a little bit of wiggle room because then you can, move this around a little bit. And you'll see again when I try to put these together, they're going to be staggered a little bit. So you want a little bit of extra, like over here, and then you can decide and then cut to mark. Okay, and then we want this little bit of extra so that we can tuck it down underneath the paper. I'm going to cut another one because this is actually two of the mountains. And like I said, it's nice if you want to do two different colors or the front and the back if you have two-tone cardstock. Okay, and I'm just going to trim this here. And then we'll line it up how we want after we get everything else cut. Okay, and now see this one, I've got a little bit more space kind of to work with so I can make it go up and down. You see how it's behind and so it's a little bit higher. You could do it like this. You want a little bit of room to play. So I might actually this time I might do it something like, well, that's very similar to what I did before, but okay. Okay, so that's the mountain. So should we put a snow cap? Let's put a snow cap on one of them. So let me put this back, and I think I have some white here. So I'm gonna get the snow cap. I thought I had put some white in here, but let me get a piece of white. Okay, here's a piece of white. And again, this one does not cut the bottom. So you don't want this to be too, like, if well, let me do it that way so I can show you what it's like if you don't cut it ahead of time. I'll put this here. Just put that kind of in the middle. And cut. So this is what happens, like I was saying, when you have it on a bigger sheet of cardstock, right? It's not cut out. It's just this part's just cut out. So um, I'm going to cut it a little bit like this, just to make it more. And then I'll cut this one. Okay, so at least one side is cut out. And then this one I will, again, I'm going to be able to play around with this in a little bit. Okay, and then, so I got my mountains. You can see it's going to go on one of these. Does it go on this one? Oh, I think it goes right. It goes maybe like that. Let's cut the trees. And here I've used old olive. I do remember that. So here's the old olive. This is Mossy Meadow from this paper, from the Take to the Sky. I'm pretty sure that's Mossy Meadow. Yeah, Mossy Meadow. Okay, so I used old olive to make it stand out a little bit. And again, I'm going to cut this one in half. This is 4 1/4, so let's make it. Okay. And I did two of these. Let's see. You guys have any other suggestions on where to put that? I was thinking maybe on this one do the two rows of trees and then do the mountains, but when I get them set up, we can decide. Okay, so I'm going to put the old olive down, and this is just single color. And this one also doesn't cut the whole paper out. And this is about, let me see, it's about 5 1/4. So I think I cut mine at like 5 1/2. Let's cut this out. Isn't this fun? This is so fun. Can you guys think of any other thing that you could use this for? I don't know. I guess it's just trees, but it seems like, I don't know. You could maybe use it as like fangs from a monster or something if it was hanging down that way. So you cut, the top part comes off and then the bottom part is what you use. Okay, so it's angled. You see how it's angled here so that it looks like the trees are coming up off the top of the hill and then down into a valley. Okay, let's cut one more. And then we'll have most of this cut out. Okay. And show you again how it is. It doesn't cut the whole thing out unless you have it right up against, your paper is exactly the width, and then that's where it gets cut out. This would make a good Christmas card. I may use this for a Christmas card. Although I've already been thinking about my Christmas card because Stampin' Up just had or you were able to sign up for a I think it's called Creativity Now. It's for demonstrators. You get early access. So I have seen one of the Christmas papers, and I'm thinking that I'm going to use that for my Christmas card. So kind of already have an idea in mind. Okay, now let's try and put this together. So I don't know, this won't work into it, but I'll do some Christmas cards maybe with this. Actually, I'm going to be doing a Christmas in July live, like um maybe the July 13th, so around in there, mid-July. I'm going to do a Christmas in July. Maybe I'll do that because the new paper that I'm talking about won't be out yet. Well, if you signed up for this Creativity Now, it's out. But I did not sign up for it because I'm going to be in England, and last year I signed up for it and I did not get to participate because I was in England and I didn't have time. So I didn't sign up this year. So I'm not getting early access to that collection. So okay, I don't know. Do you think I should? I think I should put the mountain in the middle again. Do you think I should put the mountains in the middle? Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is you want to figure out where you want your mountains to be. Okay, so here they would be exactly on top of each other. And if you slide them, they're going to be obviously askew. This, I felt it looked exactly the same, like mountain, mountain, big mountain, small mountain, small mountain. So I didn't really like that. So I kind of wanted it to be a little bit like this. And then I think I cut, gosh, I can't even tell which one's which. Yeah, you can't really see the other mountain there. So it just kind of looks like one big mountain. So I'm thinking about doing this. Did you guys have a vote about whether I should do it on the side or in the middle? I'll do it in the middle again so that, okay. So something like that. Okay. Um, so what I did is I have the top of this small mountain hitting the trough of between the big mountain and the small mountain. So that's where I have the top of this mountain is hitting this bottom point between those two. Okay, now if you do that, then depending on how you angle this, some of this can be showing. Okay. Um, I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive right here to help me hold it, just to hold it where I want, and then I'll decide how I want to cut it. Okay, so that's pretty good. You can see a little bit of the point here, so I'm going to cut a little bit of this off. Okay, and you can see a little bit right there. I don't know if that matters so much. I'm going to trim that off so you don't see it behind there. Okay. Now, what do we think about this? I think I want to put it on the one behind. Don't you think I should put it on the one behind so it stands out? Okay, so I'm going to stick this behind here. But you see how this is cut off right there? So what I'm basically going to do is just kind of fussy cut around that so it looks, you see here how I just kind of cut along the line so it looked like it was a snow line. And I tried to follow these, like the bottom of those lines. Okay. Okay. I might make this one a little less straight across right there because, snow, the tops of the mountains don't do that. There we go. Make it a little more realistic. Now that sets the back of that back mountain off a little bit. There we go. Nice. Okay, so now let's adhere that. Okay, what does it look like with the top mountain to the left? Okay, let's see. You mean like this? I could do it like that. Do you think I should do it like that? Oh, so that it has the three mountains there. This looks like the three sisters that we saw in Scotland. I like that a lot, Julie. That was a good idea. Hi, Miss Ginger Dots. How was your Disney trip? Okay, so let's see where we can put this. So I would probably put this in the middle one then. Okay, so let's put this onto the one on the left or the middle. And believe me, you want to plan this out before you adhere these down because it's not easy to change your mind. And ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. Okay, there we go. Now this part down here doesn't matter because I am going to be sticking it underneath. You see, like that. And then this part is going to be covered up by the hill here. Okay. And then actually, you know what? I think I need to I'm going to put a little bit of gray or something around the edge because the white I think blends into the white here. Yeah, I like the three mountains too. That was a good idea. Okay, let's see. Um, I don't know what color this is, but let me see. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to very lightly kind of take my um what are these called? Not thumb brushes. Oh goodness. These finger daubers. And just go over the edge. So now that when I put it down against the white, you can definitely see that. Okay. This is a way, if you ever think, oh my gosh, that blends in too much with the background, just very slightly outline the edges and then it will stand out better. Okay, so there we go. I got the three mountains here and then a little bit here. And I don't like the edge right like that, so I think I might take this and then continue it to the edge. Something like this. Let's see. We got some room to play, so let's see how that is. See how this one kind of comes down? There's no hard edge right there. And then I'll cut this off here. So, okay, what do we think? Does that look good before I glue it down? I love it. I love this the way that is, like that. That was such a good idea. I will tell you how many gallons. This is my second bottle, and it's 32 fluid ounces, and I've got I've got a good amount left. So I've used one whole bottle of this, and then this much. So I don't know. I was gonna say not as much as you probably think, but maybe that's more than what you think. I don't know. But Undo is my friend. Um, it does smell bad, and it's probably a cancer-causing agent, but okay. Do we think this looks good? Because I'm gonna glue it down. Because then all we need to do now is cut the title and then do some of the stamping. And I actually have some of that stamped already. Okay, let's see. And again, you may need to trim some of this down. Like I left a pretty good space under here because I knew it was, but you could cut this to be closer if you don't have that much room. Okay, I'm gonna see. Okay, put it like that. That looks good. Think that's a good place? Okay, now let's glue these down, and then I will trim it once I glue this down. And I found that with this one, it's best if you kind of go along the direction of the tree trunks. That's probably enough, but otherwise, if you try and go like this, it does rip them. The bigger question is how many of these dots adhesive have I gone through? A lot. Okay. Now, what I'm paying attention to the most is obviously how high or low we want it, but I want this side to end in between some of the trees. So that's going to really be determine where I put this. So it'll be easy to cut off. I don't want to cut half of a tree, right? So I'm going to put it here. Okay. And then now let's do this side. Uh-oh, guys. I'm out. I think I jinxed myself with that comment. Okay. Okay. Now let's try it again. Okay. Okay. Now you guys know me and my adhesive. I make sure each one of these trees has adhesive on it because I don't want them to get, caught and flip up, and I don't like that when when it looks like that. Okay, and again, I'm going to make sure that I end in between two trees and that I like the look of this side, you know. Like that was too low, I think, for me. I think I'm gonna, there. Now I did try and put some all the way across. If you put this all the way across, you lose the detail of the mountain. So I left the center clear. Okay, now let's trim this off. I'm gonna just go from the back and cut. Same for this side. Okay, I'm loving it so far. Now these I stamped in Mossy Meadow. I stamped a Mossy Meadow. Here is the direct stamp, and then here I stamped off. Second generation here. Here, this one and this one is second generation. I used all three of the stamps from the stamp pad here. And I did, oh gosh, I don't know what I did with those. I might have to stamp them again, guys, because I don't see them in my mess here. I have this I could stamp on it, but I already had them stamped and cut out. I found them. I found them. Here we go. Okay, so this one is Mossy Meadow stamped straight. This is second generation stamping off. This one is direct Mossy Meadow, and then this one was stamping off. So you can see I did each one twice. This one was first generation, second generation. This one was first generation, second generation, first generation, second generation. Okay, so I'm going to put, I think I'm going to put these here. Like I said, let me know what you think. I was thinking, oh, I should put one here to like, you know, where they broke off. But then I didn't really like how that looked there with these trees in the background. So I added them here. Okay, so let's put some, and I'm going to put it right here in the center. And I'm going to keep the three together. Okay. Putting my dimensionals on here. I could put the minis, but I just have the regular ones up here. And I'm putting a lot of these on here, more than I normally would, because I already have adhesive on there. Because like I said, I was originally put them up here and I didn't like it. So, you know, instead of restamping them all, I thought I'd just do this. Okay. Now, since this is going to overlap over my photo placeholders, I'm only going to take the backing off of the center, and I'm going to leave the backing on the ones on the edge, the ones that we're going to be touching this, so that it doesn't obstruct my ability to take off the photo placeholder. See, I can still take this off when I'm ready to put pictures on. Okay. Okay, so now let's talk about this. Okay, last time I used this one here, and I don't know, what do you think? I was thinking maybe this, or I could put this here and journal on it. That's the other thought. Or I could put like this and journal on it. Or I could just cut one of these and make it a decoration and not journal. What do you guys think? I like it better by the pictures too. While you guys think about which of these I should use from my decoration over here, I'm going to cut out the words. And I have on here my notes, Adventures Abroad. I was going to put abroad here. So that's what I'm going to cut out, abroad. And I did this in the copper clay. I really love this paper. This kind of reminds me of cinnamon from Close to My Heart. Okay, here I used the, like I said, alphabet a la mode dies. These are nice and they're small. They're skinny, I guess. That's what I mean, skinny. And here's what I like about these. I recommend if you are getting any alphabet dies, like if you're looking for an alphabet die, this is a great set to have. And it's easy because there's like two A's, two E's, two I's, two L's, two N's. It makes it so much easier to write these words because maybe only one or two letters do you have to, run through a second time because you have enough. Whereas most dies that only have one of each letter, if you have a letter that has like three O's or three R's or whatever, you're having to crank through at least three times for that. So I do like this one. So I'm going to put abroad. I could put abound, but I don't know. I Googled travel scrapbook titles or something like that. And they gave, I found a whole list. And I like this one because I figured just having adventures on the left page, adventure stands by itself in my demo picture. But then having the abroad, I can add that and it makes sense. I didn't want something like, I didn't want it to be take to the sky and put take to, and in the sample picture, it just says take two, and you're like, what does that mean? Okay, so now look at this one. I have all of the letters in one pass. I demoved a little bit, but okay, there we go. Okay. And I do find that they come out really easily. Does the collage tab have foreign images to go with the abroad M in the title? I'm gonna have to think about what you're saying there because I can't. I'm gonna go look at the tag page. I think that's what you mean, but I'm not 100% sure. But I will look to see if there's any foreign images. Oh, because it's abroad. Well, I was thinking, in Scotland, we did see mountains like that in Scotland. And that's what I was thinking. In fact, I felt like I was standing on top of that mountain with the snow all over me when we were up there looking at Kilt Rock. It was so cold and windy. Oh my gosh. And it was the middle of June, or it might even have been into July at that point. Okay. Let's take these off. Okay. There we go. And the nice thing is, look, I cut out 6 letters on a piece of paper that was, 4 inches long, so you could fit a lot of letters. Okay, before I put these down, I'll see if I can figure out what you were talking about. I also thought I could put abound, adventures abound. Okay, there's abroad. This is kind of this looks a little bit, I mean, this has got the globe. What do you think? Is that what you were talking about, these? I'll cut a few of these out and we can test them. Oh gosh, it's 8:05. I thought I was going to be like early today, but I'm still. Okay, I'll cut this green one. I'm not sure about the green against the green background, but so that, or yeah, the tall and narrow letters are nice. Okay, let's see how this one matches. So I don't know, the abroad could be like that. So we could do this, and I could mat it if we needed to. I haven't trimmed this one up, but this can go there. Let me trim the corners of this. And then the other one I was thinking was a gray one, because it's not a color that's seen in here, and I could journal on it. Like this gray one is what I was thinking. Or this one. The off-white one was the one you're thinking of. Do you think this one's off-white? Because it's gray. Or this one. Maybe you meant this one. We'll try them all. Oops. Okay. Because we're really just about done. Okay, this one. But this one here. Let me trim this. Actually, the edge, there's a little bit of that copper clay showing, and I want to trim that off. Okay. So that one, what do you think? Or this one? The gray with the design, so this one. Okay. Okay, so let's kind of center this. It's also hard to see, to get a good feel when you're standing up over this. Like sometimes after I go back and watch the live, I'm like, oh, I can see I should have done this or that, because you actually can tell a little bit more on the screen, I think. Okay, so let's tape these down, adhere these down. I'm going to start with the D. And I did pop that up, so I'm going to pop this up. Abroad. Okay. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I have been working on uploading my old Facebook Live videos onto YouTube because on May 25th, Facebook is going to delete all of the Facebook Lives that are older than 30 days. So I have been working, I've gone through and some of the techniques and things that I've done, I've focused on the technique videos first rather than ones that are focusing on paper or a stamp set or something. I did a quick run through and uploaded those, and now I've started from the very beginning and I'm working my way back. So you should go back and watch my very first one. It was really interesting. So oh, look, this one, oh, that's the back part. Okay. So I did some good demos the first few times I did that pop-up 3D card. I really love that. I think we were just talking about that this weekend that I haven't done one of those for a while. And then my second one was the Flip Flap mini album. That was a good one too. Okay, let's put this down here. And okay, if I was going to journal on this, I would have journaled before I popped it up because now it's going to be hard to write on. And then the last thing, I do have some, I don't know if you can see, but I have some gems here because these are copper clay. They're called Earth Tone Shimmer Gems. And there is the link on that resource. So I think they're just running out of space, right? It costs, I mean, like me, I'm a relatively new, I would say, consultant people doing Facebook Lives. I joined in 2020. So I've got 5 years worth of Facebook Lives every week. So 52 times five, I've got I probably have about 300 Facebook Lives on my page and in, 5 years. So that probably cost them a lot of money. However, they do, um, if it's a video, like if I upload, like I could download the Facebook Live and then upload it again as a video, and that won't be deleted. So, but what I'm trying to do is upload it to YouTube. So, and then I'm dropping a link back in that event. So, that's kind of what I'm doing. I think I'm gonna do one here. Okay, so I'm just gonna put 3 on here. Again, these are the Earth Tone Shimmer Gems. Okay, and I think that is it, guys. I really love this. What do you guys think? Those of you on Instagram, what do you think? Okay, so there is the scrapbook layout. Again, Scenic Adventures. It makes these amazing cards, but you can also make amazing scrapbook layouts with it. Here's a card, and here's a card. Oh, there you go. A couple cards too from here. I do love this color combo. And I really, I didn't plan it well. I really wanted to do something with it. I mean, I'm happy with what it ended up, but this is in the old catalog now, and I feel kind of bad that, It's not one that's carrying over. So they still have it in stock, but and when it goes away, it's going to go away. The colors in this are boho blue, um, copper clay, mossy meadow, night of navy. This is like night of navy and this is boho blue. This is boho blue here. Night of navy, boho blue, and smoky slate. So this gray is the smoky slate. Okay, next week I am going to show you the notes and totes card. So we're gonna make this card, and then I'm also gonna make the 3D tote. The little 3D tote that you can make. You can put candy in it. You could put a gift card in there. So I made mine look like an LL Bean bag because I bought these for the girls embroidered with their initials. Like, man, actually it was one of their Easter baskets. This is what I used for their Easter basket. Like, not this, but the real thing when they were like 10 or 12. So we've had it for that long. So I modeled it after that. Okay, so this is next week. Notes and totes. Okay, thanks for joining. Remember, Saturday is my National Scrapbooking Month event. If you're not signed up, you still time to sign up. Just go to my Facebook page, Crafty Chemist Designs, find this event and mark going, and I will send you the link. It's going to be a Zoom link to I'll send it probably Friday. I don't like to send it too early because we did get what do they call it? Zoom bombed one time. So that's because I posted it. I posted it on actually on my calendar on the Stampin' Up site, and we got Zoom bombed. So I'll send you it through Messenger, the link. Okay. I will probably post the sketch that we're gonna do, for a challenge tomorrow or Tuesday, so you have time to figure out some paper that you want to use. Okay. Okay. Well, thanks for joining me today. I really love this layout. I hope you do too. And if you create something with this, basic layout, please post it in the Crafty Chemist Presents Stamping Up so that we can all see what you did. See you next week. Bye.